Hi, I'm Isabella Townsend, and this morning I have the absolute pleasure of introducing Elizabeth Caradonna. Though she be but little, she is fierce. These words perfectly describe Elizabeth. She somehow balances being a fantastic student, an amazing athlete, and still manages to be a genuinely awesome person who the class of 2017 is incredibly lucky to have. I am so excited to hear what wisdom she is going to share with us today. So give it up for Elizabeth Catherine Caradonna.
The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows by John Koenig is an online compilation of invented words. Each original definition aims to fill a hole in our language by defining what Koenig calls words for strangely powerful emotions. As I frequently sift through the dictionary's tweets and blog posts, one of Koenig's words deeply resonates with me: sonder. The realization that each random passerby is living a life as vivid and complex as your own, populated with their own ambitions, friends, routines, and worries. This epic story of another's life expands infinitely, like an anthill sprawling deep underground with elaborate passageways to thousands of other lives that we will never know existed. Lives in which we might appear only once, as an extra sipping coffee in the background, as a blur of traffic passing on the highway, as a lighted window at dusk. In our own lives, we are the main character, the protagonist. We are the stars of our own unfolding story, surrounded by a supporting cast of our family and friends within our immediate orbit. Just farther beyond, we have an orbit of acquaintances that drift in and out of our lives. And in the faded background are the extras, random passersby, each living a life as vivid and complex as our own. They carry on seemingly invisibly around us, each carrying their own ambitions, friends, routines, mistakes, and concerns. These invisible characters are strung together with countless other stories that we may never be able to see. Stories in which we might appear only once, as the extra sitting in the background, as the blur passing by, or as just the lighted window. In my infamous middle school years, I was wrapped up in my own head, focused on my own interests and concerns. I was unabashedly the star of my own show. No, I did not consider myself self-centered or self-obsessed, but I was simply unaware of those around me and my effect on them. I had not realized the importance of sonder. My perspective was one of solely looking inwardly instead of outwardly at those around me. That is, until one fateful middle school day. My sister Courtney came home from school to inform me that Cameron Dean had told her older sister Natalie, who then told Courtney, that my face was scary and intimidating and that almost everyone thought the same. I abruptly burst into tears, devastated that my look, as people referred to it, had such an effect on my classmates without my knowledge. Though Cameron smiled at me in the hall the next day as usual, I realized that I had never actually known what she was thinking. Probably a bit awkwardly, I made a point of smiling just a little bit bigger than usual. Though I still struggle to keep my resting mean face in check, I now look at myself through others' eyes. I will never fully know the sadness, happiness, pain, or joy that someone else experiences. But simply the acknowledgement that the lives of others are as convoluted and complex as our own is what I truly think sonder is all about. Sonder is about empathy. As author Daniel Pink states, empathy is about standing in someone else's shoes, feeling with his or her heart, seeing with his or her eyes. Empathy is hard to outsource and automate, but it also makes the world a better place. These lives, these stories of others exist outside of our own. People are as equally and rightfully the stars of their own show as we are to our own. So in learning the power of empathy, we learn to be compassionate and to understand others. We are all different, each embodying a beautiful mosaic of experiences and stories. Yet our complex life is, in fact, just one life. Our orbits may never cross paths with a girl half a world away, or maybe they will. But just by acknowledging the fact that these orbits exist, that our stardom is not alone but merely a fraction of the universe, is a start. As Atticus tells Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird, if you can learn a simple trick, you'll get along better with all kinds of folks. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. Thank you.